your eyes for a moment and think about the moments in your life when you felt like giving up. Maybe it was a dream you couldn't reach, a failure that shook your confidence, or a challenge that seemed impossible. Now, imagine if you had a mind that refused to quit, a mind that didn't bend, a mind that could rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocked you down. Because here's the truth, they didn't teach you in school. Nobody told you this, but your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever have. And today I'm going to show you how to unlock it, how to turn your thoughts into unbreakable strength, your struggles into fuel, and your vision into unstoppable action. The time you leave this room, you won't just think differently, you'll feel differently, you'll act differently, and most importantly, you'll build a mind that refuses to quit no matter what life throws at you. Once you do that, there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. You see, everything in your life begins in your mind. Every success, every failure, every moment of joy or pain, it all starts with the thoughts you allow yourself to believe. Most people, they don't even realize the power of their own mind. They let it run wild, unchecked, and then wonder why their life feels stuck, why they feel frustrated, why they can't reach their dreams. But the truth is simple. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. Your mind is not just a part of you. It is the command center for everything you do. And the beautiful thing is, it's malleable. It's flexible. It can be trained, sculpted, and transformed. You can teach your mind to serve you instead of sabotage you. Think about the last time you told yourself, I can't. How often has that small phrase snuck into your thoughts and silently destroyed your momentum? Maybe it was at work. Maybe it was in a relationship. Maybe it was a goal you wanted to pursue but never had the courage to chase. That I can't is nothing more than a habit of thought that can be broken. And breaking that habit begins with awareness. You have to catch it. You have to recognize it when your mind tries to talk you out of your potential. The moment you hear that voice, you can choose to change it. And that choice right there is the first step toward building a mind that refuses to quit. Your mind is like a garden. If you let weeds of doubt, fear, and negativity grow unchecked, they will choke every seed of possibility you plant. But if you water it with empowering thoughts, with beliefs that elevate you, with a vision of who you truly want to become, those seeds will grow into strength, resilience, and unstoppable momentum. And here's the thing, your mind doesn't care about how big your dreams are. It only cares about what you feed it. You feed it fear, limitation, and what ifs, the more it will shrink. The more you feed it courage, clarity, and possibility, the more it will expand beyond what you ever imagined. Most people think the mind is something that just happens to them. They think some people are born strong-minded and some are born weak. But that's a lie. The truth is, strength of mind is built just like muscles in your body. And just like the body, it needs exercise, it needs training. Every time you push through a fear, every time you refuse to give in to doubt, every time you replace a negative thought with a powerful one, you're building mental muscle. And the more you build it, the easier it becomes to stay strong when life gets tough. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. The mind is a stubborn thing. It has a million ways to convince you to quit, to stay small, to settle. Here's the power you hold. You have the ability to interrupt that process. You can become the commander of your own thoughts. And once you do, everything changes. Suddenly, failure becomes a teacher. Criticism becomes information. Obstacles become stepping stones. When your mind refuses to quit, there is no force on earth that can stop you. One of the most powerful things you can do is to start noticing the patterns of your thinking. Pay attention to the language you use inside your own head. Are you constantly doubting yourself? Are you replaying old failures over and over? Are you giving energy to what you don't want instead of what you do want? The mind doesn't argue, it listens, obeys. And when you start catching those patterns, you can replace them with thoughts that empower. Replace I can't with how can I? Replace it's too hard with what's my next step? Replace fear with curiosity. These small shifts in thought might seem subtle, but over time they reshape everything. And here's the most important part. Your mind will go wherever you take it. If you constantly focus on limits, it will find them. If you constantly focus on possibility, it will create them. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It doesn't matter how many times you failed before. It doesn't matter how impossible things feel right now. The power is already inside you. The way you choose to think, the way you choose to see the world, and the way you refuse to quit on yourself. So start today. Start right now. Watch your thoughts, challenge them, and direct them toward what serves you. Feed your mind with possibilities, not excuses. Train it to see opportunities where others see obstacles. Condition it to believe in your potential when the world doubts you. Because when you do this consistently, relentlessly, and with unwavering commitment, something incredible happens. You become unstoppable, not because life suddenly became easy, not because the challenges disappeared, but because your mind will not allow you to quit no matter what. And that right there is where everything begins. You know, the biggest misconceptions we have about life is that pain is something to avoid. From the moment we are born, we are taught to seek comfort, to run from discomfort, to shield ourselves from struggle. But here's the thing, pain is not the enemy. Struggle is not the enemy. In fact, pain is the gateway to growth. Every single challenge, every difficulty, every moment of discomfort is a message, a teacher, and an opportunity waiting for you to seize it. The people who succeed, the people who refuse to quit, they don't have lives without pain. They've learned how to turn it into power. Think about it for a second. Every time you faced a setback, a failure, a loss, what did you really learn from it? Most people see the failure and stop there. They see the loss and let it define them. They feel the pain and try to bury it. But the truth is, every painful moment contains a lesson, a hidden gift that only those who are willing to look for it will ever find. You embrace the lessons inside the struggle. When you allow the pain to teach you instead of defeat you, you start to grow in ways that comfort alone could never produce. Now, I know this is hard to hear, especially when you're in the middle of a storm, when everything feels heavy, when it seems like the world is against you. But the question isn't whether life is fair. Life isn't fair. Life will push you, test you, challenge you in ways you didn't imagine. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let it break you, or are you going to let it build you? Are you going to see the pain as punishment? Are you going to see it as a stepping stone to something greater? The mind that won't quit is not a mind that avoids pain. It's a mind that knows how to harness it. It knows that every challenge contains within it the seeds of strength. Every difficulty you endure, every obstacle you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you think. The key is perspective. You can choose to see struggle as an enemy, or you can choose to see it as a teacher. Once you start choosing the latter, everything changes. You no longer run from challenges. You seek them out. You no longer fear failure. You use it as fuel. Think about the most powerful people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable. They all have something in common. They didn't avoid pain. They embraced it. They didn't quit. When life got hard, they leaned in. They didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. And that is exactly what you can do starting today. You have the power to reframe your experiences, to see every setback as a setup for a comeback, to recognize that the very thing you fear might be the very thing that makes you stronger. Pain is not random. Struggle is not meaningless. Every challenge is a test of your resilience, a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And here's the secret. Your mind has the ability to grow stronger through it. Just like muscles get stronger when they are challenged, your mind gets stronger when it is stretched, tested, and pushed beyond its comfort zone. The discomfort you feel today is the strength you will feel tomorrow. Struggle you face now is the power you will carry forward for the rest of your life. But here's the catch. You have to choose it. You have to decide to see the gift in the challenge. You have to make a conscious effort to turn every painful experience into fuel. Because if you don't, if you continue to fight against the struggle, if you continue to resist it, it will break you. That's what most people do. They see pain and they run. They see struggle and they quit. But you, sitting here today, you have the chance to do something different. You have the chance to see pain as a teacher, struggle as a friend, failure as an opportunity to grow beyond what you thought was possible. Imagine what your life could look like if every challenge became a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. Imagine what would happen if the next time life hit you hard, you didn't bend, you didn't break. You bent but didn't break, and you came out stronger than before. That is the power of embracing pain, of leaning into struggle, of using every difficulty to fuel your mind, your heart, and your spirit. This is how resilience is built. This is how mental toughness is forged. And this is how you create a mind that simply refuses to quit no matter what comes your way. The question is not whether life will challenge you. It will. The question is whether you will let that challenge define you or whether you will let it refine you. Emotions, they're powerful, aren't they? They can lift you higher than you ever imagined. They can also drag you down faster than you could ever see coming. And yet most people live as if their emotions are random, uncontrollable, something that just happens to them. But that's not true. Your emotions are not your enemy. They're not outside of your control. In fact, your emotions are the fuel that drives your mind and your actions, but only if you know how to master them. If you don't, they'll control you. And before you know it, fear, doubt, frustration, anger will dictate the course of your life. Think about it. How many times have you wanted to take a bold step forward only to hesitate because your fear whispered, you can't do this? How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because your frustration clouded your judgment or your anger made you react instead of respond? Every single one of those moments wasn't caused by the world. It was caused by the way you allowed your emotions to control you. But here's the amazing truth. The same emotions that can trip you up, the same emotions that can sabotage your progress, can also become your greatest allies if you learn how to harness them. It starts with awareness. You have to catch your emotions the moment they rise. Most people don't. They feel a surge of fear, a wave of frustration, or a pang of doubt. Before they know it, their actions are being dictated by those feelings. But the first step toward mastering your emotions is noticing them. Recognize when your mind is reacting instead of responding. Pay attention to the signals your body gives you, the tension in your shoulders, the tightness in your chest, the racing of your heart. Those are not just physical sensations, they're messages. And when you can read those messages, you gain control over them. Once you've identified the emotion, you can begin to direct it. This is where the magic happens. You can choose how to interpret it, how to respond to it, and how to use it. Fear doesn't have to freeze you. It can energize you. Frustration doesn't have to overwhelm you. It can focus you. Anger doesn't have to destroy you. It can sharpen you. Every emotion carries energy, and energy is power. The difference between someone who quits and someone who keeps going isn't that one person feels less fear, frustration, or doubt. They feel it too. The difference is that one person uses those emotions as fuel while the other lets them become a cage. Mastery of emotion is not about suppressing what you feel. It's not about pretending everything is okay. That's weakness. True mastery is about embracing the emotion, understanding it, and then channeling it in a way that serves your purpose. You learn to respond to life instead of reacting to it. You create space for clarity, courage, and action. You become the driver of your life instead of a passenger on a runaway train of feelings. And once you experience that level of control, there's nothing that can stop you. Now, let me be clear. This is not easy. Your brain is wired to react. Evolution built it that way to protect you from danger. We live in a world where the biggest dangers are not lions or storms. They are missed opportunities, unfulfilled potential, and the limits we place on ourselves. If you let your emotions run wild, they will steal your life. If you train your mind to master them, they will become your superpower. One of the most powerful tools you can use is reframing. Reframing is simple, yet it's one of the most overlooked skills in life. It means taking the situation, taking the emotion, choosing a different meaning. If someone criticizes you, you can feel insulted, or you can see it as information. If a project fails, you can feel defeated, or you can see it as a lesson. If fear rises before a big step, you can feel paralyzed, or you can feel alive, alert, and ready. The choice is always yours. The question is, who is running your mind, you or your emotions? Emotional mastery also comes from practice. You won't suddenly become unshakable overnight. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you take a breath and choose how to respond instead of reacting impulsively, you strengthen the muscle of emotional discipline. Every time you do this, you are telling your mind, I am in charge. I decide what my emotions mean. I decide how they affect me. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes to face stress, pressure, and life's inevitable chaos without letting it derail you. And here's the ultimate payoff. You master your emotions, you unlock mental freedom. You become unstoppable, not because life got easier, but because your inner world became unbreakable. You carry a calm, steady energy that doesn't depend on external circumstances. You act from clarity, not confusion. You create from purpose, not panic. And in that state, quitting is no longer an option because your mind, your heart, and your spirit are aligned, focused, and unshakable. Your emotions are powerful. Your mind is powerful. And when you combine the two with conscious control, you tap into a force that is unstoppable. Knowledge alone doesn't change your life. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, and attend every seminar, but unless you act, nothing happens. Action is the bridge between wanting and achieving, between dreaming and living. And yet, this is where most people stumble. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect opportunity. And in the meantime, life keeps moving. Momentum doesn't wait, and dreams don't chase after hesitation. The people who build minds that refuse to quit know this. They take action relentlessly, consistently, without waiting for permission from the world or certainty from the future. The first step is to start small, but start. Every big goal can feel overwhelming if you only look at the distance to the finish line. But when you break it into micro steps, suddenly the impossible becomes doable. One small action today creates momentum. One small step taken consistently turns into movement, and movement turns into results. And when your mind experiences the power of consistent action, it starts to believe in its own strength. It starts to trust itself. That trust is what fuels resilience, determination, and the refusal to quit. Relentless action is about doing what others won't do consistently over time. It's about showing up even when motivation fades, even when the excitement is gone, and even when fear is whispering in your ear that it's too hard. Most people quit because they rely on how they feel instead of what they do. The mind that won't quit doesn't wait for inspiration. It creates it. It trains itself to act regardless of emotion because it knows that action breeds clarity, courage, and unstoppable momentum. There is also a powerful psychology at play here. Every time you act, even imperfectly, you are rewiring your mind. You are teaching yourself that you are capable, that you can move, obstacles can be overcome. Every action compounds. It builds confidence. It creates proof inside yourself you are stronger than doubt, braver than fear, and more capable than you realized. And the longer you keep moving, the less power hesitation has over you. Eventually, momentum becomes a force that carries you forward even when the path is unclear. One of the most dangerous traps is waiting for certainty. Waiting for everything to line up perfectly before taking the next step is a trap of procrastination disguised as prudence. The truth is, clarity comes through action, not before it. You learn by doing. You grow by doing, and the faster you act, faster you learn, adjust, and improve. Every misstep, every mistake, every failure is actually information. It is data that your mind can use to course correct, to innovate, to become stronger. The people who refuse to quit understand that action transforms the unknown into the possible. Consistency is the secret weapon of relentless action. Doing one thing today, another tomorrow, continuing without interruption creates results that are invisible at first but unstoppable over time. It's like compounding interest for your life. Small choices repeated lead to exponential growth. And when your mind experiences that growth, it begins to expect it. It begins to demand it. You don't act once and give up. You act continuously because action is what defines your identity. It's not what you feel. It's what you do. The mind that refuses to quit is forged in the fire of consistent, relentless action. And it's not just about action. It's about the right kind of action. It's about purposeful, directed action that moves you closer to your vision. Random activity might feel like work, but it rarely produces results. Focused action aligned with your goals is unstoppable. It's the difference between spinning your wheels and driving a car full speed toward your dreams. When you combine relentless action with clarity of purpose, there is no obstacle big enough, no challenge strong enough, and no setback capable of stopping you. The next time you feel like quitting, ask yourself this. Is one small action I can take right now that moves me closer to my goal? It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be done. And then the next step and the next. Momentum will build, courage will grow. Your mind will become unbreakable. Every action compounds, every step reinforces belief, and every moment you refuse to quit strengthens the muscle of your resilience. Relentless action transforms thought into reality. It converts potential into power. It builds confidence, resilience, and an unshakable belief in yourself. And when your mind experiences that transformation, quitting is no longer an option. Because action, more than anything else, proves one undeniable truth: you are capable, you are strong, you will never give up. The most powerful thing you can do for your mind is to intentionally shape it. Too often people live their lives passively, allowing experiences, circumstances, and other people to dictate how they think, how they feel, what they believe is possible. But the mind that won't quit is not a product of circumstance. It's a product of intentional conditioning. You have the ability to rewire your brain, to reshape your beliefs, to create a mindset so strong that obstacles don't intimidate you, failures don't defeat you, and fear doesn't control you. The key is not to leave it to chance. The key is to condition your mind deliberately every single day. The most powerful tools you have is visualization. The brain cannot tell the difference between vividly imagined experiences and real experiences. When you see yourself succeeding, when you feel it, you live it in your mind as if it's happening right now, your brain begins to believe it. Your emotions follow, your actions follow, and slowly but surely, your reality begins to align with the vision you've created. This is not fantasy, it's neuroscience. You are literally training your mind to recognize success, to anticipate solutions, and to operate from confidence instead of doubt. When practiced consistently, visualization builds a mental habit of seeing possibility, even when the world says no. Affirmations work in a similar way. The words you repeat to yourself every day, what you say to your mind in private about yourself and your life, shape the beliefs that govern your behavior. If you tell yourself, I am capable, I am strong, I can overcome anything, eventually your mind begins to act as if it is true. These repeated declarations are like planting seeds in your subconscious. And when nurtured with consistent belief and action, seeds grow into undeniable conviction, shaping every choice you make, every risk you take, and every challenge you face. Mental rehearsal is another powerful tool. Think of elite athletes, performers, great leaders. They don't just practice physically, they practice mentally. They run through every scenario in their mind, anticipating challenges, planning responses, and feeling themselves succeed before it even happens. You can do the same. You can train your mind to navigate the storms of life with confidence and clarity, to respond to obstacles with creativity, and to approach every moment with a sense of control. The more you rehearse victory in your mind, the more natural it becomes when you encounter it in reality. But here's the truth: conditioning your mind isn't just about positive thinking. It's about deliberate, structured practice. It's about choosing to see opportunity in every challenge, to extract growth from every setback, and to refuse to accept limitations that others impose on you. Your mind will always follow the patterns you create. If you feed it fear, limitation, and excuses, that is what it will grow. If you feed it courage, possibility, and relentless belief, that is what it will become. This is how the mind that refuses to quit is forged, not through luck, not through circumstance, but through deliberate, intentional conditioning. Every time you condition your mind in this way, you are building resilience. You are creating a foundation so solid that no external force can shake it. You are developing the capacity to see through fear, to act through doubt, and to rise above challenge. Always throw difficulties in your path. There is no way around it, but a conditioned mind does not bend. It adapts, it perseveres, it finds a way forward, and it refuses to quit. The most powerful ways to reinforce this conditioning is by focusing on what you can control. You cannot control every circumstance, every opinion, every challenge, but you can control your mind, your focus, and your actions. You consistently direct your attention toward the things you can influence. You create a momentum of mastery. Your mind starts to expect solutions instead of problems, action instead of stagnation, and growth instead of limitation. This expectation becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The mind conditioned to succeed will find a way to succeed, no matter how many obstacles appear. And this is where the transformation becomes undeniable. A mind that has been trained, rehearsed, conditioned is unstoppable. Challenges are no longer terrifying. They are invitations. Failure is no longer crushing. It is information. Fear is no longer paralyzing. It is energy. When you combine visualization, affirmations, mental rehearsal, deliberate focus, your mind becomes a machine for resilience, creativity, and relentless pursuit. Nothing can stop it because it has been prepared over and over to refuse to quit. So ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind today? Beliefs am I reinforcing, consciously or unconsciously? And how am I preparing it for the challenges and opportunities that are coming tomorrow? Your future is not determined by luck, talent, circumstance. It is determined by the strength of your mind. And the mind that won't quit is not born. It is built through daily practice, deliberate conditioning, and an unshakable commitment to growth. The mind that refuses to quit is created by choice, not chance.